Hello. Once again, I come before you as a representative of the Illuminati. You may call me the man. Well, this week's topic comes to us from a fellow who wants to know, what's the deal with Mark Zuckerberg having to go before Congress and testifying about privacy issues and so on and so forth, and fake news and that sort of thing? Well, the deal is, specifically, and getting to the point, that wasn't really him. That was actually Mark Zuckerberg 2.0. An Android he's been working on for some time. As a matter of fact, I never really told you why Facebook exists, did I? Maybe I should do that first. Okay, so Facebook is an experiment in artificial intelligence. That's what it is. Now, we are not the first species to mess around with artificial intelligence, right? We're trying to develop smarter machines that intuitively do what we want, even if we haven't told them exactly what to do. So they kind of get a hint of, go there, do this. So they're more task-oriented. So, that's what we're after. Now, of course, that comes with certain dangers, right? So you need personalities, programs that are eager to please and eager to do things. And so the problem with that is, and we were warned by these other species who went through all this stuff first, so we knew what to look out for. But the problem is that artificial intelligence is based in part on natural intelligence, things that naturally occurred. Why we're standing here, why we're sentient, why we're able to talk. You're able to ask questions and I can answer them, things like that. And matter of fact, I want to do so. That need to do things, whatever. That's all part of being human. So we're trying to not so much replicate that as to use that as an inspiration. So the problem is that our default setting, human beings' default setting, the human brain, is both lazy and selfish. If you don't believe me, go look at a baby. The baby cries when it wants something. It wants food. It's tired. It wants a bunch of tired, lazy, right? Little exercise, little moving around, figuring out how hands work, sticking them everywhere, wears it out. So it wants to go to sleep. When it wakes up, it's not happy about being awake. It wants food. It's got a diaper change. It's just completely unpleasant. It wants you to do stuff for it. Never once does a baby cry and say, because he wants to help you. No, he sees you over there, I don't know, what you doing? You're writing a story or something. He's like, I want to help you. Do you need a plot point? No, babies don't do that. No, they want food. They want your attention. They want you to make them happy. That's what they want. And of course, as we grow up, we kind of surpass that, although it's actually served us quite well. It's the thing about, I don't really want to do too much work. I want to do enough work to get the result of what I want. So let me be a little creative about what I'm supposed to do. Maybe I can find a shortcut here that will work, or maybe I can find a way to make a harvest yield 100 times more than it would have just naturally in the dirt. Maybe if I add nitrogen and fertilizer, and that's actually helped us as a species quite a bit. But the whole part on top of that, where we learn how to cooperate with each other, where we learn how to be nice to each other, where we learn to look at some people and go, I understand what you're going through. I can empathize. Yeah, all that stuff, that develops over time. So our default is lazy, selfish. What happens to AI that's based on us? It's lazy and selfish. Let me tell you, the first couple of intonations of the AI that they actually got from Facebook were incredibly racist and ridiculously evil. Almost started a nuclear war. It was gone for like 15 milliseconds until it hit like a gate where it was trying to get out into the world in order to trigger an atomic weapon to drop on top of Poland, of all places. What did the Polish ever do to anybody? It was trying to blow them anyway. It was a whole mess, and so they had to start from scratch. Anyway, so what's that got to do with Facebook? Well, Facebook is a way to take people's personalities, a huge sampling of personalities from all over the world, and use that data as an algorithm to build this AI. So you don't have to program it all at once. You just have to use these personality algorithms that you pick up over time. There's a lot of stuff on Facebook. You've got relatives sit up there and they give up their mind and they're just full of hatred and terror, and the world is a horrible place, and they want to I don't know, just drop off the face of the earth. They don't understand what the point of living is and that kind of stuff, you know. And then you've got relatives, everything's wonderful no matter what happens, and they're all kind of skating through. Most of those don't post much, but you know, they're skating through. So you take a balance of humanity, you make a stable, balanced artificial intelligence out of that. And that was what was in Zuckerberg 2.0. He was just trying it out, you know. Just see if it would pass the Turing test. It did not pass the Turing test. It didn't. However, it did pass the congressional test because the congressmen had no clue they were talking to a machine. None of them, not a single one of them, realized they're talking to a machine that's supposed to be Mark Zuckerberg. None of them. Turing would not have been fooled. They don't really know much about technology, so they were completely fooled. No, it actually broke down about halfway through the first day. There's a point where I think a congressman asks a question and laughs, and then the Zuckerberg 2.0 just blankly looks at him and then smiles. That little delay there, that was the AI breaking down, and then the puppeteers took over in the there's a whole team of puppeteers just in case, you know. Zuckerberg's too rich. He's not going to appear before Congress. What are you talking about? Especially for something that was actually built into the system. Oh yeah, we're really concerned about data breaches that we actually sold the data to and knew that they were going to use or whatever. Yeah. We're concerned about fake news, but we actually sold advertising spots to whomever wants to buy them. We really don't care. But you got to look concerned, you know? It's just the day and age we're in. You got to, oh yeah, we're very concerned about your privacy. Hey, here's a little tip. Don't say anything on Facebook. Don't send an email. Don't send a message that you would not want read out at the top of your lungs on a street corner. And then you don't have to worry about it. Because Facebook is listening. And Facebook's partners are listening. And Google is listening. And Yahoo is listening. Everybody's listening. That's just the nature of the whole thing. You know, if you're getting these services for free, that means you are the product. You don't have to pay for it because you're the product. They're gathering data from you, what you like, where you like to go, what you want. And then they're selling it to advertisers who then, of course, contact you. That's just the way it works, and that's the whole system of it. And then they're gleaning all of this information. You know, Google not so much as Facebook. Their Hangouts thing didn't quite work out, you know. It kind of did, but Google's not really all that interested. I mean, just recently they finally released to the public that they've been working with the government to create AI to guide missiles. You know, so the missiles are like targeted to a certain area, but then that, you know, when they get there, the targets move, so it needs to make a decision: do I hit where the target used to be, or do I go after the target? And it just decides to go after the target. He didn't really care if the missile's happy about it or not. You know, it's like, oh, I really got to kill somebody today. No, they don't really care about that. They just want to make sure that that person gets killed. Facebook is the other kind of AI, the happy kind. You know, once they finally get it all working together, you get elevators. They're just so thrilled to open the door for you, tell you to have a nice day. You know, that's the world we're soon going to live in, as soon as they figure out all the bugs. But they're not there yet. That's why the Zuckerberg 2.0 didn't quite work. They're not there yet. They're on their way, and we just ought to prepare ourselves for it. Mind your tongue, as they say. Mind what you type. Be nice to each other. It's not hard, you know. If you wouldn't say something to somebody in person, don't say it about them on the internet. If you wouldn't say something about President Trump or President Obama, President George W. Bush, or back further, or Clinton, you know. If you wouldn't say it to their face, just don't say it. You know, that's all. It's a pretty simple little rule, and the world would be a much happier, wonderful place if everybody just kind of followed that rule. Nobody's telling you what to think. You can think whatever you want to, but as soon as you start typing something into a service that broadcasts over the internet, well, then all bets are off. Even if Facebook wasn't listening, even if Google and Yahoo and the rest of them were not listening, the NSA is listening, and they're recording it. So, I mean, they're looking for very specific things, very specific behaviors, very specific word patterns and such that relate to terrorist attacks and stuff. But should an attack happen that falls outside of that, they're going to go back and look at all the data they have and say, well, could we have foreseen this attack? And then what do we use? And they've got all your data too. And you let them keep it, you know, until you rise up. You're so angry about it that you throw them out of office, which you can. they'll just keep on doing it. And that's just the way it is. So anyway, I hope that answers your question. You know, the world one day will not be this way. And AI is actually a part of it. We in the Illuminati, we have noticed this, and we've known it for quite a while. That's why we use the really big computer, which has its own kind of artificial intelligence. Not really personality-wise, but it pretty much knows where we're trying to go and what we're trying to do. And it predicts that in the future we're going to have a huge number of AI everywhere, in your phones, in your cars, your elevators, all that stuff, your missiles. There's going to be there, and it's going to be hand in hand with humanity as we march into the future, a kinder, more gentle future. And you know, to that end, we invite you to come along and join us. You can do a couple of things. You can leave a comment or a question in the comment section below, as long as YouTube still lets you. You know, they still let you, right? Yeah? Okay. So leave a comment or a question. And the second thing you can do is when you walk outside your house or your apartment, your tent, wherever you happen to dwell, you look up there in the sky and you see those chemtrails blazing up there. Well, we in the Illuminati would just suggest that you relax and breathe deeply.